This young man is Zhu Gong. Since he was a child, he was expected to be the main character of this world. Wherever he went, people teased him about the meaning of his name. He did not care about their teasing at all. Gong headed straight to the game counter. Stop joking around. The game's ready. The seller had a surprise for him too. Knowing he would come, he saved a copy. The seller brought out the newest game, the remake of Nace Saga. Nace, through the seller's story, a world took shape based on this game, a tale between humans and demons. Players choose a character, either Locke, the human warrior, or Jeffy Lagros, the Demon King's second son, and roam the world to fulfill their destined purpose. This was exactly what Gong had been waiting for. I have played Night Saga over 10 times since I was a kid, so there is nothing about characters, item locations, or events I do not know. He even experienced it vividly. Plus, this was the first game released in virtual reality. After buying his favorite copy, Gong rushed home to try it out. He humorously pulled the game card out and inserted it into the device. The next crucial step was putting on the VR headset. Gong gently pressed the game card to start it. Finally, lying comfortably, ready to enjoy, he mumbled to himself before starting. Today, just a light session about 8 hours. Instantly, Gong's mind transferred into the game. A strange new space appeared, making him exclaim in surprise, "Huh!" He had transformed into Sucha, sitting on a long bench. Still dazed, he wondered, am I really inside the game? But yeah, a game only feels real once you wake up in bed. His new appearance updated too. He wondered in astonishment. Still puzzled, he looked at himself again. Who is this character? Suddenly, a voice from outside cut through his surprise. Still sleeping at this hour, a tall lover leaned in, urging him quickly. Hurry up. There is something to do this morning. Sucha looked at the character before him with visible excitement. The graphics are insane. So lifelike. The lover did not understand what he was saying. Graphics. Hearing the lover talk made Gong even more interested in this unique mode. Could you actually talk directly? The ad never mentioned this. Sucha was still confused by the lover's info and asked, right, what is your name? Hearing the question, he replied in surprise. What? Already forgot I am Karak. Sucha repeated. Karak stepped outside, reminding him carefully. Come on, everyone's waiting for Prince Sucha. Hurry up. Hearing about his identity, he pondered this new name, Sucha, the 9th son of the Demon King. Sucha Ignos. He had not even chosen a character, yet he was already Sucha. To confirm his guess, Sucha opened the system menu and checked his status. Seeing the stats on screen, he murmured, that explains it. But Sucha felt a bit disappointed by this ordinary start and low stats. Did the first playthrough have to be Sucha, a plain prince who is basically a nepis? He checked the details of his gear and skills. Virgin Love. Main character adjustment level 1. These special skills gave Sucha a bit of hope. He quietly rejoiced. Conquering. With the main character adjustment, could this be the adjustment he would been thinking about? Karak saw him hesitating and urged him again. Hurry up. Sucha answered, okay. Got it. He followed Karak outside, and the scene before him left him speechless. Ahead was an army of lovers standing in perfect formation. The silence and professionalism made Sucha curious. Karak, why does it feel like war's about to break out? Karak thought he was joking and waved it off, telling him to focus. Cut the nonsense. Let us move out. Karak added that their mission was to deal with the Red Tribe rebels. He turned pale, shocked, asking again, what? A loud rally cry echoed, signaling an epic battle ahead. All right. First deployment. Let us. Sucha was not ready yet and panicked. Wait, we are going out? What about the beginner's guide? He did not even understand the enemy before heading out the rebellious Red Tribe. He had to join the 7th prince and 8th princess to quell this uprising. Sucha nervously stared straight ahead. He was a bit worried about their small numbers, only 10 people going on their first mission. This was frustrating with Sucha's stubbornness. Then he explained again, I told you yesterday. It is just reconnaissance. So we do not need many people. Sucha immediately understood. That is it. Suddenly, he felt uneasy in his body. He wondered if he would eaten something wrong yesterday. Why did he feel so weird? Sucha calmed down and checked the screen he had. Luckily, he had a map that made navigation easier. A small map like this really helps. First, he had to open it regularly. Sucha carefully studied it and noticed something interesting. There was a hidden path. Must be an event. Everyone else was still stubbornly studying the traditional map. From there, turn this way. Taking that route wastes a lot of time. While he was still confused, Sutra stepped forward to lead them. Follow me. I know a shortcut. So the whole group lined up and followed the path he pointed out. There, They discovered another base area. The goblins were diligently climbing the cliffs to get higher up. Sutra was no exception. Like them, he worked hard, sweating as he climbed. After persistent effort, they found a stone gate leading to their destination. The gate looked very solid. Even the others admired Sucha's skill in finding the place. How did you know about this spot? Are you a mage? A prince. He was too tired to breathe properly and only gave a vague reply. Mage? What mage? One of them worriedly asked if he was okay. Are you alright? You look really exhausted. Sucha was panting, his face pale. He had not expected this. His stamina at level 1 was surprisingly weak. He forced himself to step up and check the door. Whatever. Let us see if it opens. As he approached, a strong spiritual energy surged into his body, and he could feel it. Such aghast in shock. Wondering, what is this? Power flooded his body. A voice echoed in his ear. You have leveled up. Because of this strange event, Sucha hurried to check his stats. No way, he just walked a short distance and leveled up. Just as he suspected, all his stats had increased. Plus, he got a +2 boost in extra bonus points. This was seriously overpowered. Sucha was still stunned from the experience. Standing dazed for a moment, seeing his odd expression, the others shouted, What are you doing? Hurry up, Sucha quickly responded. Yeah, From then on, he felt even stronger and more confident for the upcoming tasks. He did not know what was inside, but since he was not going alone, it should be fine. That was what mattered most. Sucha tightly held the immunity card, which made him even more determined. Character level adjusted to Luvi 1. Even if the main character falls off a cliff, they won't die and might have a lucky encounter. After going deeper inside, they encountered a large cave. The others immediately guessed it was a tunnel dug by the dwarves. Sucha was a bit surprised. Dwarves in the demon world. There were dwarves on the Star Realm too. He added some more info. Not now. But I heard there used to be. Maybe the whole clan migrated. Who knows? I just heard stories. After walking quite a distance, they found lots of weapons and treasure left behind. The goblins were delighted and said, Jackpot! Those stupid dwarves ran off and left all their weapons. Sucha skeptically stared at the pile of loot. While the goblins greedily gathered everything, even if heavy, they carried it all. Although there were many kinds of items, to him none had value levels too low, power too weak, magic too little. Damn it, Sucha hesitated for a moment, but decided it was better to take some than miss out. Still, he figured it was better to store them away first. He checked how to put items into his inventory. Just a gentle touch from his hand could retrieve the item. All the weapons were neatly stored in the system bag, making carrying them much easier. Just as he thought. A simple touch, and thought would automatically store the items. Suddenly, the minimap flashed a danger warning. Sucha immediately noticed as he glanced at the screen. He quickly alerted everyone. Everyone stepped back. Then, water droplets started dripping and tapping, startling the goblins as they looked around. In seconds, the place they stood exploded like in a huge battle. In the tense moment, red demons suddenly appeared. Their leader sneered at the goblin group. You think we do not know you are blocking the way here? Huh? Kai-chan, leader of the red tribe, ordered his underlings. Attack! Kill them all. A fierce battle broke out between the two sides. The elves could not hold back against the red demon's destruction. Sucha just stood quietly for a moment. In this tense situation, he suddenly came up with a bold idea. What now? Should I try to land a finishing blow to gain experience? Taking advantage of the non-stop chaos, Sucha slipped behind the red demon. He gathered all his strength for a sneak attack, while the demon was not paying attention. But Sucha's cheap sword could not handle the heavy force and broke in two, leaving him helpless. Black Kajan turned around coldly to glare at Sucha. Furious, he started chasing after him to settle the score. While running hard, Sucha unfortunately tripped over a rock and tumbled to the ground. The system screen started flashing a red alert, making him panic. Up 1 out of 15. Megapixel 5 out of 5. Black Kajan was closing in, ready to finish Sucha with a single punch. He screamed in terror. At this life or death moment, Kakak blocked the attack and saved Sucha's life. He fought back with all his might while urging Sucha to stay safe. What is he doing? Prince, run. Sucha was stunned by his bravery. He witnessed the fierce struggle between Kakak and Kai-chan, which also caused a commotion. Sucha tried to stay calm. He comforted himself. My hands are still trembling. It is just a game. After a heart-stopping moment, Sucha could not take it anymore and decided to pause. This is not good. Let us stop here today. Want to call up the menu. It is too realistic. Who could handle this? He opened his personal info screen. Age 14. Race Gandava. Status Prince. Role Protagonist. Strength 7. Stamina 7. But Sucha froze as he noticed something important at the bottom of the screen. Under Skills Owned. There were not any skills at all. He grew confused by this oddity. What is this? Sucha checked the homepage again, but could not find what he needed most. Status? Equipment. Inventory. Skills. There was no logout button either. He sat down. Vague and terrible thoughts filling his mind. Could it be that he is trapped here? Kaichan charged furiously towards him once more. His body was now enhanced with dark powers and incredible stamina. Kaichan shot like an arrow towards Sucha, who was sitting nearby, preparing to swing his weapon. He was terrified by the sudden attack but steeled himself, thinking, I can't die here. Kaichan struck at his body. A powerful shockwave shook the ground and shattered the water. Sucha gasped for breath but pushed himself up, refusing to give in. In his sight was Kaichan, eyes locked on him. The demon did not relent, attacking wildly. Of 0 out of 15. Megapixel 5 out of 5. Sucha felt like he would entered another dimension. Memories flashed back as he bitterly wondered where he was. He would clearly just been skewered by the Olks. A horrifying thought struck him. Could he be dead? A strange light shone from somewhere, drawing Sucha's curiosity. As he approached, a voice spoke to him, telling him he carried the fate of this place and must rise up. A radiant goddess appeared and made an offer to Sucha, commanding him to obey and then depart. He was confused, not understanding what was happening. What? Sucha looked up once more, but the beautiful goddess vanished after her message. He was then returned to the chaotic battle scene. The elves were weakening and being overwhelmed by the red demons. The demon general Kaichan proudly stepped forward to claim victory. He sneered with contempt and challenged the elf army. You brought so few troops here. Are you naturally stupid or just poorly trained? Then he cruelly ordered his men, no time to waste, kill them all. Seeing the evil face of demon Kaichan again, Sucha was stunned, unable to believe his eyes. Auntie, what is going on? I felt like I woke up just now. Kaichan was also shocked to see Sucha reviving. How can you be alive? The system gave Sucha an important notification. Gained motivation mantra Lev. He was bewildered by this miraculous power. Since when did I have a motivation mantra? His eyes locked on an unusual line on the screen with surprise. The screen read, Secondary role Conqueror Knight Elf. Sucha reread it in confusion. Conqueror Knight. Ben Kaichan did not hesitate to order his men, shouting, What are you standing there for? Kill that kid first. The elders could not stay calm any longer. They were worried about Hong, the prince. They urged their entire army to wholeheartedly protect their lord, to protect the prince at all costs, and not let him get hurt. Facing the tense situation, Sucha knew he had to do something. He glanced at the system screen, hoping to find some help. Another skill popped up on the screen that caught his attention. The Conqueror Apprentice class at level 1 in Night Saga except there is no such thing as a Conqueror Apprentice class. Sucha's eyes widened in surprise. Wondering why, he placed the sword's blade on the ground, and a strong spiritual energy radiated out, as if he had known all along. Incantations echoed endlessly in his mind. Sucha's gaze was filled with determination and resolve, because the power of conquest is the power of kingship. After Sucha's decisive words, all the goblins seemed empowered. The cavalry skill, Conqueror's Cavalry LV1, granted a strengthening effect to allies within range. The goblins felt steadier and stronger. They cheered joyfully as power surged through them. This time, the goblins were no longer fearful or weak. The elders ordered the whole army to sweep the enemy away. They charged forward, storming the demons so fiercely even the demons were overpowered. The goblins fought bravely and powerfully together. In just moments, they had nearly wiped out a large number of red demons. Even Kaichan was shocked and suspicious at how quickly their opponents had changed. The enemy suddenly grew stronger. He could not believe what he was seeing. This was impossible. The brave goblins, bursting with unbeatable strength, were closing in on Kaichan, throwing him off balance. Master Sucha's brilliance made Kaichan suspicious. Could it really be him? Unable to accept this harsh reality, Kaichan stubbornly attacked again, refusing to back down. Sucha remained unshaken by the red demon leader's fury. The elders took the lead to absorb the attacks, while Sucha supported him from behind with spiritual power. The two coordinated perfectly. Sucha shouted to boost his spirit to push forward crack. Kaichan had not even recovered yet and could only shout, Wait! With a clean slash from the elder, the demon general's head fell. Seeing their leader fall, the other demons' limbs trembled with fear. They fled in terror, scattering everywhere, but the goblins insisted on capturing them for revenge. They are running, do not let a single one escape. A notification appeared for Sucha. The glory of the general belonged to their king. Then, a series of congratulatory messages followed. You have leveled up. You have leveled up. You have leveled up. He looked at the screen, unable to hide his joy as he kept leveling up. The elders watched his growing power, and he wondered what exactly is this power. His eyes grew deeply emotional. The elders glanced at Sucha as if they suddenly understood something. In their eyes, He was like a savior and the clearest answer. Could it be the prince himself? When the war ended, the goblins began to settle and light fires. Sucha still refused to give up searching for a way back to reality. Frustrated, he searched but found nothing, no exit button anywhere in the menu. But rushing would not help. He tried to calm himself. It could not be. Stay calm. There are two possibilities to consider. Sucha began to carefully analyze and reason. First, he might be trapped in a virtual reality world. Maybe a fatal error was happening in the real world, and an update could fix it. Second was a crazy thought that this place might actually be reality, based on years of gaming experience. Sucha guessed, like in novels or comics, if you get sucked into a game world or a similar playable world, he imagined the worst. But this scene could only be called reality and PCs could talk like real people. And more importantly, Sucha nervously checked himself and paled. No blur effect. A terrifying thought hit him. If this really is another world, what should he do? Could he end up dying here, though struggling to accept this reality? Sucha was somewhat comforted by his status. No way. I would not dare go crazy. At least I am lucky not to be an orc or an orc. I am a prince. After all, the golden leaf. While lost in these worries, the elder's call interrupted him. Prince, are you free? Sucha was a bit startled when the elder came to find him. Karak? The elder called Sucha outside for some training. Surprising him, suddenly wanting to spar. What is going on? He gave a clumsy explanation. But after all, the prince is the lord we must serve. Knowing his swordsmanship level is good for the future. But honestly, you were left speechless hearing it. No need for that. Kaka tossed Sucha a wooden sword. He assured Sucha firmly so he could train without worries. Don't worry. I will go easy on you. Sucha dropped the formalities. He suddenly seemed unusually serious. That guy, he actually dared say that to the prince. You are fearless, charging forward without fear of pain. If we are fighting, then fight seriously. Kaka's eyes sharpened with focus and determination. From the first moves, Sucha's strikes flew wide. Plus, his techniques were so clumsy they barely phased Kaka. A stone hit right above his head, and he could not hold back anymore. Kaka lightly swiped his sword, redirecting the stone towards Sucha. Sucha was caught off guard and fell to the ground. He worriedly asked Han, Sir, are you okay? Sucha blamed him. Hey, that was a hard hit. But unexpectedly, that small change helped Sucha gain new skills. He unlocked basic swordsmanship of 1. Level 1. Sucha's eyes widened in shock. Swordsmanship. Since when? His mind replayed it all again to remind himself. Sucha recalled his past. Something must have triggered this strange event. It reminded him exactly of when he gained motivation skills. Maybe taking direct hits helps you learn new skills. Kaka thought Sucha was tired, so he tactfully suggested, let us stop here for now, let us eat first. But Sucha replied decisively. Who said to stop? Sucha stomped hard on the ground. His mind fired up. Replying boldly, I am just getting warmed up. Sucha charged forward fiercely. Kaka also trained seriously with him. The sword swinger launched continuous strikes. When their second direct spar began, Kaka's view of Sucha changed. His moves became much smoother. Sucha's sudden change made him suspicious. Why was he like that before? Could his power have suddenly skyrocketed? Kaka swung hard at Sucha, but Sucha smoothly dodged and countered. Sucha looked confident and asked Kaka, how do I look? Getting better, right? He asked about Kaka's combat level. Karak, what level are you now? Kaka hesitated. Last time I checked, it was 21. I think. Sucha double-checked and was surprised by Kaka's number. 21? Huh. I am still far behind you, Kaka, but I am determined I will catch up soon. At least in this world, levels really exist. That fired Sucha's spirit even more. But unlike, they can open a status window, they have to use magic to check levels. At least he could see his own level, which felt lucky. In other words, just knowing all my stats and gaining points with each level up is already a huge advantage. Sucha struck Kaka again. Sucha rushed Kaka at an incredible speed, ready to strike. He felt alive and wondered, can I really get stronger? Sucha was confident in his abilities. He could surpass others. He recalled scenes from the game's story, the Ne Sagas Demon World legend. Sucha remembered the main ending vividly. Jeffy defeats his rival brothers to become the Demon King. Many side events happen, but the core is a mandatory massacre event, which, according to the story, could happen exactly in this world. This major event happens in the Demon Calendar year 517. Jeffy kills all his brothers to achieve his goal. Sucha worried about this and silently calculated. Killing all the brothers means I am included too. It is only 5,512 Demon Calendar now. There is still time until 5,517. A bold idea sparked in Sucha's mind. He must somehow stop that event from happening. And the best way is to be stronger than Zifi. Suddenly, Kaka interrupted his thoughts. Prince, what are you doing here? I have been looking for you. Sucha replied. What is up? Kakao was surprised by Sucha's calm attitude and repeated firmly. What else? Don't you know there is a meeting today? Sucha looked puzzled. A meeting? Seeing him so casual, Kaka hurriedly reminded him. Come on. Everyone's waiting. The meeting took place at the camp. Sucha sat upright at the table, trying to keep a serious demeanor. His brothers were also present, calm and composed, and Sucha greeted them politely. Good. Your Highnesses arrived early, said the blonde brother naturally. Why the formalities? Just relax. We are brothers after all. He was the 7th prince. Gris Moonlight. The girl beside him suddenly turned and explained to Grease. Big bro, it is their first face-to-face meeting after all. She was Princess Kaylin Moonlight, but he still cheerfully dismissed the formal tone with Sucha. No worries. Just call me brother or sis. These two were some of the most unforgettable people in Sucha's memory. They were children of the lycanthrope queen, Elaine Moonlight, in the game. They had also made life difficult for me. Moreover, Sucha knew their fate clearly. Krith and Kaylin would die 1 year before the massacre. He also remembered well the tragic cause. Because of Ziffy and the other children of the Demon Lord. Watching Kaylin calmly sip tea, Sucha realized the depth of it all, the secret of Kaylin Moonlight's true identity. An unimaginable reason only he knew. She was not the Demon Lord's biological child, but an illegitimate one. Kaylin worried about the last battle, asking Sucha, why did not you follow the plan? Why did you fight them directly? We were only supposed to scout. Sucha explained. But who expected they would pop out right there? Kaylin immediately offered to check his wounds. Let me see. She placed her hand on Sucha's shoulder and asked sincerely, are you hurt anywhere? Kaylin gently held his hand with care, saying in the Brotherhood, he was the weakest and needed to be careful. Sucha felt a bit embarrassed. Sorry. Not just her. Krith also felt sorry for him. Sucha could not believe this was happening. Why are they caring about me? Demon Lord's kids acting so close, seriously. Krith even scolded him sharply. Next time you act recklessly, you are dead meat, Sucha replied shyly. Got it. Their affectionate and caring gestures made Sucha question life itself. What the hell? Are these two really that kind-hearted? His eyes filled with determination. His mind was focused on one thing, how to level up the fastest. Lycanthropes a strong vitality, so their aura power is insanely strong. If I learn skills properly, maybe I can master aura easily too. He gathered all his weapons and courage to ask Krith for a favor. Unexpectedly, Sucha made a very strange request. Can I use aura to strike just once? Both of them stood stunned, touched by the request. A voice expressing surprise echoed outside the camp. Memories flashed back to the battle with the Red Demons. They were chaotic and screaming everywhere as they were continuously attacked. The battlefield was intense and tense. The goblins fought fiercely against the demon general Kai-chan. Other demons waited behind him, ready to ambush. Kai-chan turned and struck a powerful blow, sending them flying. Another demon, unaware of his limits, injured Kai-chan's arm. He glared at him with bloodshot eyes full of killing intent. The demon was immediately terrified by his aura. Without saying more, Kai-chan slashed him into pieces. Kai-chan grew proud and displayed his leader's aura. He ordered the entire army. Don't let a single one escape. Kill them all. The one who kills the most gets a reward. The goblins were energized and shouted together. Charging forward, chaos erupted again, with goblins having a significant advantage over the weaklings. Sucha stood frozen, watching the scene. A goddess suddenly appeared, startling Sucha so much he gasped. She was there at that moment. He was so shocked he could not say a word. Strangers appeared, and Sucha was amazed. Wondering, who are you? Night Saga never had characters like this. While lost in thought, the goddess suddenly stood behind him. A flash of light made Sucha drift into a haze. He woke up from a long, deep coma. Sucha put his hand to his forehead. Suspicious. Did I just dream this? Or was it in the game? The sudden appearance of Kai-chan startled Sucha. Already awake, he shouted. Startled by the scare, Sucha got annoyed and twitchy. Seeing you still had the energy to curse eased him a bit. You seemed physically fine, but Sucha's dreamy words made everyone pause and wonder why did she say the princess hit the lord. She kept refusing to explain, begging until she got hit, then acted like this. He glanced at you, surprised by the strange change he saw. The system just notified me. Understood aura level 1. Sucha was excited to get what he would been waiting for. Feeling it already. Aura? Kaka? Seeing this for the first time, asked with curious wonder, if aura hits them, do they absorb aura too? Sucha answered honestly, saying it was both right and wrong. After realizing this interesting fact, Kai and Sucha eagerly discussed it. So during the fight with the Red Lightning clan, the power surge was thanks to the prince. That is right, I did that. So it really was the prince. He felt a bit uneasy and tested him with a question. Did anything happen while I was asleep? Kaka asked. Confirming, and of course there was. He recounted the details to Sucha. Word was the base camp had already defeated the Red Lightning clan. You were surprised, base camp. Sucha had not expected that. You asked again. Still stunned. Wasn't he clearing the Red Lightning orcs your job? What about Creed and Kalen? Kaka seemed very sincere. Dun T joke. The Red Lightning clan is not small scale. Sucha was even more curious. So who commands the base camp? He named a familiar figure, Urge Vando, that great general. You were shocked to hear that. What, Vandu? Sucha knew him well. That was his favorite character in games. General Vando was one of the fierce types, matching his look, and the subordinate Sucha loved using most when playing as Zifi. An idea sparked in his mind. Wait, this could be an opportunity, because he knew the situation in advance. Sucha was good at seizing chances. Vando only became Zifia's subordinate in year 515 of the demon calendar, so he was not with Zifi yet. Just thinking about it made Sucha grin slyly. If so, he could recruit him first, since Sucha had detailed info on him. He was even more confident about this plan. He knew nearly everything about him, from his favorite gifts, preferred foods, skills, and most importantly, the recruitment condition to feed him in a duel. Sucha was wise to come up with this idea. His gaze was firm. Knowing this much, he was sure he could recruit Vando before Zifi. It was totally doable. Time was on his side. Sucha smiled with satisfaction, already feeling possessive. First, Vando, you will be my subordinate. Suddenly a loud shout echoed in the camp. What? This is Kalen's camp? Kalen stared wide-eyed at the glow on your hand. Amazed? On the first day, you had already reached the basic stage of aura emission. Creed behind him looked equally stunned. You smiled faintly but frowned, thinking because you invested all your points into aura. Did not you? Sucha thought about the speed-up animation from the perception skill, not a random choice. Aura boosts physical energy all around. Even better than having motive power. Kalen looked at you in disbelief. Impossible. Could it be because of Ganthus land? Suddenly he turned and said, Sucha, mind showing me the dungeon floor map again? You looked up. A little doubtful dungeon map. Then Sucha glanced at the command ceiling and thought. Not exactly. But I do have a mini-map. Sucha replied simply. Just lend me a pen and paper. Later at the camp. You finished the map laid out on the table. Kalen could not stop marveling. It was more detailed than the map he had. Suddenly he stepped forward and grabbed your shoulder in surprise. Sucha, you really are a genius. You looked up and smiled shyly. Haha. Creed came over happily. The Red Lightning clan we fought earlier are all dead, and they did not even know we had full knowledge of these underground tunnels. Kalen frowned in agreement. We can ambush them using this map. Then he added, by the way, Sucha, I need you for one more task. You looked puzzled. Then at a vast mountain, Sucha, Karak, and his Oris army marched around the mountain. He wondered about the next patrol mission. You shrugged resigned. I have no choice, I am the youngest now, he whispered to you. But luckily, we got reinforcements. You looked back at the enemy troops behind. This was all thanks to our efforts. Karak agreed. That is right. Suddenly, a figure blocked Sucha's troop. And you looked at them. Huh. It is Grythe and Sarah. She tucked her hair back. The girl behind looked at you. Then you glanced back at Grythe. Confused by that cloak, she signaled to stay silent. Then she quietly explained to you that Tai would secretly come along just in case. But only intervene if things got truly dangerous. Since the glory had to be yours, you hesitated a bit. Sneaking a look to plans to back me up like this? So dumb. You muttered. Glory? On this side. Sarah stepped forward to introduce herself. Pleased to meet you. I, the assistant. You also glanced at her. Yes, nice to meet you. Then she looked toward the distant mountain and declared that they would follow the path carefully. Sucha agreed. Fine. They approached a dark cave entrance. Sucha's troop entered, the inside echoing with strange noises. Then they noticed some support beams inside. Support beams? Who leaves them behind? Probably the dwarves took everything. You looked at him, puzzled. What about the weapons we picked up last time? Karak explained they probably did not think those were valuable. You understood. Makes sense. Next, the group holding torches went deeper inside. Ahead, he turned back to report. Prince, something seems to be coming. Sucha stared intently that way. Yeah, I hear it too. Then you looked back at the red dots on the cave map. Definitely them. You ordered the system. Storage, and a window quickly popped up. Then Sucha pulled out a vial, thinking to himself, I have already prepared a dazzling spell for this. You grabbed the vial and warned Karak to close his eyes when you signal. He stood grimly aside, the flag in front of them. And in the dark cave? Some noise was approaching. Blood-red eyes glared out coldly. Spider webs also stretched from the sides. Moving fast, they swarmed out, growling terrifyingly. The system noted. Stone spiders. These monsters usually appear in caves, traveling in packs of dozens with potent paralyzing poison. Suddenly, you shouted to everyone, "Close your eyes now." The orcs quickly obeyed while you threw the vial, which flashed brightly toward them. It exploded, sending a blinding light rushing out. The dazzling light above the spiders stopped their movement. Their eyes shut tightly as they wailed in pain. You also thought over this: stone spiders become useless when exposed to light since they live in darkness. Urgently, you shouted the command, "Attack! Everyone, kill the spiders." The troops behind rushed in crazily. The fight between spiders and orcs was chaotic. One orc swung down, finishing off a spider while you silently observed the battle. Then you opened the map again to check the cave's status. Stone spiders hunt in packs. Your gaze landed on the biggest red dot on the map. There must be a leader in the group. You immediately turned and raised your sword. Karak, come with me. Take down the leader first. He nodded in agreement. Got it. The two of you charged forward. But suddenly a tremor stopped you. In front of you was a huge claw. The Spider Queen opened her mouth and growled at you. Karak wildly raised his sword, shouting as he leaped to attack first. He struck her once, face full of shock. The Spider Queen's body had no armor left. Karak yelled in disbelief. What? The hard outer shell? Then you suddenly remembered you forgot. Your arrows can pierce her armor. Your eyes fixed on her furious gaze. Her weakness is fire. But you still could not use fire magic. Meanwhile, the Spider Queen's body twitched, startling Karak. Then she roared angrily and charged at him. You stood behind and shouted a warning. Use fire. Karak, she is weak to fire. Karak glared back at you. Wait, but where do I get fire from? Suddenly, a voice made you turn around. Suda, raise your sword. A fiery blaze burned on Suda's blade. You stared at him in surprise. His wide eyes. Magic? Below? Grytha was casting magic while watching you, probing if you were ready. You also looked back at her, realizing the Spider Queen attacked suddenly, and you quickly leaped forward. Sword in hand, sparks flew as your sword, wrapped in flames, slowly burned the Spider Queen's body. The fire sword. Immediately, flames burst out fiercely, scorching the Spider Queen's body. Below, Sucha looked up at it, and suddenly his body flashed with a burst of energy that even surprised him. Along with the rising energy came a system notification. You have leveled up. Master has leveled up in humanity. He glanced at the stats panel before him. Level 9 already. Behind Chris, full of worry, he asked Han and Sucha, "Are you okay? What was that light just now?" Sucha was a bit embarrassed. Then he smiled, standing before the fire, explaining, "It is kind of like a blessing. It only happens sometimes. Do not worry." The woman stepped closer to ask, "A blessing? From Gandhava?" He hesitated. Yeah. From Gandhava." She looked suspicious but then focused on D. "Have you fought this thing before? Your reaction was pretty skilled." He glanced away, scratching his head awkwardly. Well, I only read about it in books." Though inside he thought, "Actually, I have fought these countless times in the game, so of course I know how to counter them." Karak pointed ahead, cutting their talk. "Prince, look over there." They both turned to look. Before them was a gate hidden deep inside the rock. Karak said, "There seems to be a door there." They soon opened it. Sucha, Creed, Karak, and Sarah stepped inside. Seeing what was inside, Sucha's eyes widened in surprise. What is this?" Beneath the ground lay a magic circle, and in the center, a glowing orb absorbed energy. Sucha approached. Suspicious, a teleport gate. Karak behind him looked amazed. "You know what that is?" Sucha turned with some doubt. "Not really sure, but that is my guess." Then he looked down at the ground patterns. Although unsure, the design was dwarven style. Above on the wall was a carved flag seal marking the teleport gate. Sucha pondered. "When I played on the Ziffy side, I never saw this, but on the hero side, I saw it a few times." Then he stood at the magic circle's center, staring into the glowing orb's dimming surface. "If I channel mana into it, it should activate." He turned toward Grid behind him. "Hey, maybe this is the teleport gate." She took off her hat, confused. "Teleport gate? Seriously?" Sarah stepped forward to confirm, looking at the design. "Prince might be right." She looked at her curiously. "Can we tell where it leads?" She added bluntly, "If we search around here, we might find some inscription." Sure enough, Karak pointed to a tablet on the wall. Prince. Over here. I see different writing. Sucha also paid attention. The group moved closer. The stone tablet was carved with strange characters, not the common magic race script, but dwarven letters. Karak looked at Crit suspiciously. Can you read this? She asked. Why would I know dwarven script? Then he turned to Sarah. How about you? She frowned. Sorry. I can't read it either. Suddenly, a voice rang out, startling both of them. Mount Gista. Teleport gate no. 2. Sucha read the tablet aloud with authority, stunning the 3. And it connects to gate no. 3. Then Sucha's eyes widen in confusion. Wait, how am I reading dwarven script? The system displayed a message. Learn dwarven language source. Level 1. He stared, still amazed. What? I actually learned this language source. Karak leaned in, looking at him. Prince, you really can read it. He smiled back. Yeah, I think so. Behind, Crypt was still stunned. Sucha, since when could you read dwarven script? Sarah focused more. So what does it say below? Sucha rubbed his hands, studying the tablet carefully. I think it says if you channel mana, it will activate. Then he suggested, says, try channeling some mana into it. She gave him a dissatisfied look. Why me? Why do not you do it yourself? Sucha's face showed hesitation as he made excuses. Well, I am still not that good. Inside? He yelled. Actually, I can't use mana at all. She let it slide. Fine then. Next, Chris stepped toward the orb, starting to channel mana into it. Everyone watched the glowing orb. Suddenly, a surge of energy flashed. Before them, a 3D map projection appeared. The group stared wide-eyed. This is Mount Gista. On the 3D tech map, they saw white glowing spots. Sucha analyzed. This dot is where we are. Over there is gate no. 3. Crit wondered. So there is a lunar tunnel on that side too. He replied. Very likely. Karak also stepped forward to confirm. Isn't he that perfect? Because the Red Tribe's main force is stationed there. Sucha grinned, raising a finger at him. Exactly. That means we can launch a surprise attack from behind. Then he looked around and ordered. For now, let us stop here and head back. I need to discuss this thoroughly with the clan chief. Karak agreed. Yes, sir. At the camp, joyous shouts erupted in the command tent. Who would have thought there was a teleportation gate here? Kaylin slapped him on the shoulder excitedly and shouted. Sucha, you really are a blessing. Sucha looked at him awkwardly. Then Kaylin smiled brightly at him and said, if you ever need anything, just say the word. As long as it is within my power, I will make it happen. He waved his hand with a harmless smile. He replied. Seeing that, Kaylin cut off any further advice. As your leader and the senior here, I want to reward you. Kaylin gently reminded him, causing him to lower his head hesitantly. If you refuse, I will be disappointed. After thinking it over, he hesitantly asked. All right. Though it sounds a bit unreasonable. Kaylin played along. Unreasonable? Now you have got me curious. Sucha stood before them and made his request, freezing the moment. Hyan, can you teach me how to make the divine beast kneel? Kaylin's expression darkened as he looked at him. Meanwhile, he hung his head, only daring to peek up and observe the situation. I am still not skilled with weapons because of my low level, but other skills. Sucha then thought about those who mastered this martial art. It is the royal heirloom technique of Home Jia Lycanthrope, Divine Beast Fist. Simply put, it is a powerful rank martial art. I know this request sounds ridiculous. If Hyun refuses, that is understandable. Sucha shook his head and crossed his arms, showing he got it, probably a bit tough. I never really expected it to be possible anyway. Hearing this, Kalen's face darkened. Expression unreadable. Then he decided, all right, I will teach you. Hearing that, Sucha perked up eagerly. Seeing his face, Kalen was a bit annoyed. Hold on, you need to understand I can teach you any secret techniques. Sucha, still in disbelief, stammered, really? Kalen confirmed. At least I can teach you how to use aura. Then he asked, making Sucha freeze for a moment. Is this reward good enough? Seeing Sucha silent, Kalen glanced at Creed and joked, no reply means you do not like it. Right? Sucha quickly defended. Not all. It is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Suddenly they called his name seriously, leaving him confused. Kalen placed his hands on his hips and looked at him sternly. Creed beside them smiled gently. From now on, I guess we really can call each other brothers. Sucha looked at them, a bit bewildered. Brothers? He muttered. Kalen narrowed his eyes with determination. That word carries a lot of meaning. Sucha smiled happily and agreed. Well, All right then. I do not hate it in fact. I like. Then he stepped forward and took Kaylin's hand. The three of them looked at each other with joy. Yes, he stared at them. And they looked back. Let us cooperate from now on. Behind Sucha, a system frame appeared that he did not notice. Inside, it said an alliance was formed with Chris Moonlight and Kaylin Moonlight. Alliance status. Normal. That afternoon, on another mountain. Inside another camp, the Red Thunder tribe troops were drilling. The voice of a blue-haired Red Thunder soldier was full of disdain as he clenched his fist. Surely the master would not come here on his own, right? Behind him, a bald man crossed his arms and looked up on the ground. Inside a magic circle, a candle burned. A girl knelt there. Wounded, the others muttered. The powerless girl in the magic circle was the Red Thunder princess. What brings you here? This is the 6th Princess Fensiadenbeth. Such a glanced at his own stats and whispered, charm, huh. At first, whenever I leveled up, all stats increased by 2, but at some point, charm only increased by 1. Sucha wondered why. In the original Knight Saga, appearance and charm were separate stats. Appearance simply showed how good-looking the character was, while charm measured how much other characters liked them. He was not too bothered by this and stayed positive. Well, that is reasonable since my growth rate is still good. Looking at the stats screen, Sucha was happy. More importantly, he would soon reach level 10. Sucha thought. In Knight Saga, when Ziffy and Locke reached level 10, their unique skills Dark Aftermath and Chosen One would level up. He hoped that when he hit level 10, at least one skill would upgrade. Suddenly someone pulled back the curtain and called. Prince, Karak asked, are you ready? Shall we depart? Sucha turned and replied, ready. Karak curiously asked, you look happy. Something good? Sucha replied. Not really. The two stepped out of the camp, where countless orc warriors stood in neat rows. Sucha gave the order. All right, let us move out. The vast, rugged mountain range awaited ahead. On the barren rocky mountain stood a dark cave, inside which a fierce battle raged between the orcs and the scout troops. Far from the battlefield, a sealed gate held Sucha and the others inside. Crit asked the two scouts standing by the crystal orb if they had finished the inspection. One of them replied nervously, yes, just as you said. This gate connects to the Eska River in the Jiska mountain range. Crit asked if it was functioning properly. He answered, yes, exactly as expected from the craftsmanship of the Lun people. Very stable. Crit said, good, let us move out. The two scouts immediately activated the crystal orb. It emitted a dazzling white and blue light, bright and powerful. Then a bubble-shaped space gate opened. Behind it was a desolate, rugged mountain scene. Sucha and Karak stared in awe at the glowing space gate. He thought to himself, unbelievable. I am actually seeing a teleportation gate in real life. Kaylin stepped forward and called back. Why are you just standing there? Sucha snapped back to reality and quickly replied, yes, I am coming right now. He stepped through the gate, and in the blink of an eye, the group appeared on the other side. Suddenly, the master shouted in surprise. 5 people were standing on a cliff overlooking the camp below. Crit said, good, just as expected. That is their camp. He estimated the force to be about 5,000 soldiers. If we launch a surprise attack from behind, the supply depot should be our priority. Crit added, if the general leads a frontal assault to cause distraction, we can burn their supplies from here. Sarah frowned. But is not that risky? She looked down and explained that the troop numbers here were too few. Creed also agreed after a closer look. Yeah? Where did they all go? Could they have already deployed? Sucha suddenly heard a noise and turned to look into the distance. He looked toward a cluster of black dots far away and asked, what is that? Looks like a fight's about to break out. Creed instructed, Sucha, focus your aura into your eyes. Following aura of the spirit, Sucha concentrated his aura into his eyes. His vision extended, and the black dots on the horizon quickly zoomed in. Sucha could not believe it. He could see clearly now. Kalin said, one side looks like the Red Lightning tribe. But who are those others? Krith was puzzled. They were not soldiers of General Vandu, and there was no scheduled battle today. The scale was too small. Sucha silently observed carefully. He saw people with purple skin and stark white hair fighting the Demon Lightning tribe. They had long pointed ears and rosy skin. Sucha exclaimed, Elf Song. Kaline turned and asked, what? You just said Elf Song? He replied, yes, they are smaller in stature, and they ride Dracost. She shouted, Dracos? Creed. Also watching. Said they are retreating. Their commander must have fallen. They are retreating fast. The elf soldiers turned and decisively fled, leaving the Demon Lightning tribe behind. Karak asked, what is going on? Is the battle over? Sucha wondered why the elf soldiers were here as the blazing red sunset shone over the camp. Inside the command tent, communication devices buzzed with news that the Lord had found the dwarves' teleportation gate. He praised. Indeed. Prince Crit, tell me, how did you know there was a gate here? Crit said. I did not find it. It was ex-Prince Sucha. He hurriedly added. I just met me. Looking at you on the screen. I think. General Vandu, it is interesting to see you again. At that moment, the man became intrigued. So this time you will finally enter the Demon King's city. Crit asked. Earlier, there was a small clash near the Red Lightning Tribe's camp. Does anyone know about that? Vandal said. It seemed to be the Black Spirit tribe. They apparently jumped into the fight on their own. Crit asked further. But why would the Black Spirit tribe fight the Red Lightning tribe? He inquired. Were not they reinforcements from the Demon King's city? Vandal replied. It is hard to say. They were supposed to scout before joining forces. But an incident occurred. Vandal said. We are in trouble now. Crit asked again. What happened? Vandal replied. The commander of the Black Spirit Special Forces was captured by the Red Lightning tribe. Crit, hearing this, asked, was the small clash to stop this? Sucha, standing beside Sen, asked, wait, who exactly is this Special Forces commander? Vando said, you all know this person well. He said, Princess Felicia Dumblet, your eldest sister. Upon hearing this, Crit and Kaylin were shocked. She is Sylvia Dumblet's daughter, the Black Spirit's princess consort, and the twin sister of the fifth prince. Sinvin Dumblet has long platinum hair and a cold aura. In the game, Felicia and Sinhone were on the same side as the fourth princess Anastasia Negrian, which is why my impression of her is always as an enemy. Sue cast a watchful gaze around, face thoughtful, and assessing, why is Felicia here? Could she be trying to take credit? Creed looked at the scene before him, displeased and wondering if those damn Red Lightning fools even realize that the Dark Spirit is Felicia herself. Vandal appeared on the screen. He sighed, still unable to confirm. Someone asked, so what is your plan from here? Vandal, showing his big lower fangs, said, if I can save her, I will. Creed saw things differently. No negotiations. Creed said, he has thought it all through. If they dare make a move, at least I can bargain, but I have no intention to back down. Hearing Vandal's reasoning, Creed smirked. All right. Vandal said, looking at the three through the screen, I will gather more info. If anything happens, I will contact you. Creed ended the conversation. Got it. I understand. Then Vandal disappeared from the screen in front of the three. Creed chuckled. Huh? Looks like our brilliant big sis is already a prisoner. Kaylin's eyes filled with determination. If she is alive, we have to save her. But Creed's gaze darkened. His expression uncertain. Sounds good, but it won't be easy. Rescuing her will likely cost us. Kaylin was surprised he was not willing, but it did not shake her resolve. Clenching her fists tightly, firm and resolute, Kaylin said, we will save her. We must. After all, she is our big sis. Creed said nothing, just furrowed his brow and thought. After a moment, he spoke. I know. Meanwhile, Sucha observed silently. Dawn light filtered through the mountains at the rally point, where tents stood upright and guards patrolled outside. Inside, people discussed strategy. Creed stood at the center outlining the plan. When the Red Lightning's main forces are on the map, we will strike their camp from behind. He used the map to help everyone visualize. Then, we will storm their base to create chaos. Kaylin and Sucha, you two will lead a separate squad for this mission. Sucha, Kaylin, and Karak listened intently, hearing her name. Sucha asked, the mission is to rescue Big Sis, right? Creed confirmed. Yes, but first we burn their food and weapons stores, then rescue Felicia. If things get too dangerous, we retreat immediately. We can risk more losses just for Felicia. Creed's cold eyes made it clear his words put the common good first, but Kaylin sharply opposed. Hyan cried, order and discipline. I am the commander here. Kaylin did not back down. Family is family. Kuin said it could not be allowed, but the argument went back and forth. We can let Felicia's reckless actions ruin the plan. Sucha was confused watching the scene unfold. What was going on? Sensed Cred was not eager to rescue Felicia. Had something happened between them? On the other side of the mountain, the sky glowed red over the dark peaks. Footsteps approached. The troops charged fiercely, pushing to wipe out the Red Lightning scum. Crit and the remaining soldiers stood watching from the cliff. Crit looked down on the base where many tents stood. The Red Lightning guards patrolled below, and Crit's sharp eyes studied them closely. An explosion erupted, setting part of their base on fire. The attacked soldiers were thrown back, Their leader and his men charged forward. The leader's eyes glowed red, fangs bared fiercely. Kill them all, on the map. Sucha's unit was a whole main road away from the assault. Seeing the situation, Karak said, "The attack started. Why have not we moved yet?" Sucha noticed the explosions below but stayed calm. Wait for the signal. Below, chaos raged as blue-clad soldiers punched and fought fiercely. Blue soldiers fought fiercely, knocking down red soldiers. The leader silently watched his men attack. The leader's eyes scanned without moving. Amid the blazing fire, a shout rang out. At that moment, the entire army began to retreat. Creed watched the chaos. Smoke thick below. He turned, shouting, "Everyone, listen up. Prepare to move out. Execute the mission exactly as planned." Sucha, Kalin, and everyone were eyes full of fierce determination to win. Cried shouted loudly. "Charge!" The group surged forward with fierce strength. The red lightning soldiers looked stunned before the fierce battle continued. Kalin ran alongside. "Warning, Sucha. Be careful." He smiled back. "You too." Sucha opened the map and shouted commands. "Left flank. Head straight for the supply depot." They charged forward full speed. He shouted loudly. "Kill them all." Karak swung his fist straight at the enemies, making them even more aggressive, delivering a brutal punch downward. Karak's eyes showed slight surprise, and Sucha timely landed a hit to the guy's face, saving Karak from a blow. That was a level 1 throwing knife skill. Launching a dagger at the target, seeing the throw succeed perfectly, Sucha smiled with satisfaction. Karak's eyes were full of surprise. "Prince, when did you learn throwing knives?" He kept running. It did not matter now, moving fast, but inside I was secretly relieved. I was just trying to throw a knife, but somehow learned this skill. Karak looked ahead. It looked like a supplies warehouse. "Let us just burn it down." Sucha agreed. "Yeah, let us stick to the plan." Suddenly Sucha remembered. "Wait, what about Felicia? If she is locked inside, she could be trapped or even die." Sucha changed plans. "We have to find Felicia first." Karak also felt it was tough but hesitated on how to search. Calmly, he said, "Follow me." Sucha ran while looking at the map, thinking Felicia would count as a neutral in puffs, so she would be marked with a blue or purple dot. Sucha suddenly spotted something and shouted, "This way." "Karak?" Karak obeyed. "Got it." Sucha pushed open the door and looked around. This had to be it. But where was Felicia? A voice called his name. Sucha suddenly turned toward the voice and saw a girl with platinum hair in front of him. The girl was stunned and surprised. "Sucha, why are you here?" She was Felicia. Shocked, saying, "Sucha, why are you here?" Sucha seriously untied her chains and said, "Now's not the time to talk. Calm down. This place is dangerous. I need to free you and get out fast." While doing this, he thought if he helped Felicia now, she would owe him later. Felicia looked puzzled by his attitude, staring at him. Trouble brewing. After unchaining, Felicia urged, "Let us quickly join Griff and Kalin." Felicia stopped, stunned. "Wait, Griff and Kalin came too, to rescue me." Sucha confirmed. "Of course. No question. Wouldn't they come to rescue you?" Felicia was confused. Sucha explained the land was excluded from the power struggle, so it was unaware. Karak turned back, loudly warning, "Too many enemies." Sucha startled and looked one way. "Felicia?" "This way. Hurry." Felicia was confused but agreed. Then Sucha suddenly realized something and seriously asked, "Wait, why are you calling me by name?" "Huh." Sucha dashed ahead. Then the princess hurried after him. Sucha behind. As Sucha tried to turn back, a force struck his chest. He was blasted back, coughing blood in pain. Then his location exploded. Felicia was terrified. "Sutra!" The fire kept burning with no sign of stopping. Felicia anxiously watched that way. "Shoo! Sutra!" Suddenly a monster roared, releasing power around it. She tried to hold it back, but then her eyes shifted elsewhere. The red goblin was suddenly blown up overhead. Felicia looked confused at the fading smoke where Sucha had exploded. "What is this?" After the dust cleared, a foot appeared. Sucha stood there cold and unscathed, happily holding a bow. He had mastered the control skill. Rocket volley level 1. He smiled with satisfaction, then fired more rockets at the giants. Sucha grew even happier, grinning widely. Then he kept shooting rockets. Explosions erupting. The red goblins kept blowing up with screams of pain. Sucha was thrilled, laughing. "Haha, this is real magic, even if it is only level 1. It is amazing." "Haha!" Suddenly a force hit behind him, startling him to turn. On the ground appeared a block of ice. "Ice? Above ran high-level red goblins shooting arrows down. Sucha anxiously followed the arrow's path. Wait, it is aimed at Felicia, who was focused asking, Sucha, are you okay? Sucha decisively ducked back and shouted, Wait, do not come closer. Felicia looked confused at the attacker. Sucha, then countless ice arrows shot towards Sucha's position. He briefly blanked. Expression unreadable. Then his eyes lit up with fascination as he targeted the giant's treasure. Because this is an American item. Once again, a burst of power struck the ground where Sutra stood, kicking up thick dust. As the smoke cleared, Sutra's figure was still enveloped inside. A notification popped up, Ice Arrow Level 1 acquired. You could not help but smile with satisfaction. Haha, just like I thought. Suddenly, a sharp ice spike pierced your back, the pressure making your expression turn serious. Sucha's body collapsed to the ground. A red alert flashed up 13 out of 95. Life slipping away. You shouted in panic. He is in grave danger. He is bleeding out. If hit one more time like that, Sucha gritted his teeth to endure the pain. Suddenly, a voice called out, Idiot! Sucha looked over. There was Felicia. Arms crossed, frowning down at him unexpectedly. She snapped, Did I ask you to save me? Sucha's face filled with confusion. What? Felicia frowned again. Among us, who is the weakest? So who really needs saving? Sucha screamed inside. Wait, she is misunderstanding this. What the hell? You look bewildered. Felicia asked. Since when did you start studying dark magic? Sucha stared at the cold gaze of the guy who shot earlier. She would already taken down the mage. That explained it. She misunderstood, thinking you were trying to save her. Lost in thought, Felicia suddenly stepped forward and decisively pulled the bandage from Sucha's wound. A healing light surrounded the injury. Yeah, Felicia was releasing healing power on you. Sucha's eyes widened at the miraculous force as the deep wound on his back quickly closed. Level 1 healing skill learned. Sucha said, staring at the fully closed wound in amazement. Instant healing. Felicia Dumbass really is a genius with magic. She then asked about his condition. Feeling better. Can you stand? Sucha replied. Yeah, I am fine. Thanks to you. My blood has started to recover. She looked a bit puzzled. Blood? Sucha startled, about to explain, but then no. Wait. Suddenly something caught both their attention. A red-eyed goblin was wildly charging toward them. What the heck is that? Sucha answered. That is a blood demon. A mutant type of ogle. Felicia snapped back in alarm. What? You mean we have to defeat it to escape? Yeah, exactly. At that moment, the shadow of the red goblin loomed over them, and both quickly spun around to run. The red goblin roared, chasing after them. Sucha's face went pale. How could they fight something like that? Sucha and Felicia turned and fled as the goblin swung its weapon wildly behind them. You looked back in panic. What the hell? How is it so fast? Felicia urged. Sucha, stall for time. I will gather power to finish it off. You were startled. How do I stall for time? Right then, another attack hit just behind them while running. Sucha said, Okay. Got it. I will find a way to draw aggro. Just get your magic ready. Felicia asked. Aggro? What is that? Just be ready. Sucha said. Then he called out. Karak, where are you? Karak turned from ahead and replied. Right here. Sucha signaled. Like before. Get ready. Yes, sir. Sucha then pulled up the system screen quickly. Now I can use the dwarf dagger. Right? A dagger appeared on the screen. You picked it up. Eyes serious, facing the enemy. Each sharp dagger emitted a wave of power. Sucha stabbed it hard into the ground. Under the king's banner, a surge of power shot out, heading straight toward Karak in front. Karak was empowered, gripping the dagger tightly, gritting his teeth. When the power reached a peak, he let out a shout. The red goblin looked up confused at the sky where Karak towered, swinging the sharp blade to strike. The goblin quickly raised its weapon to block Karak's attack, but kept getting disrupted by several more hits. Karak swung the dagger with all his might, the blade cutting straight into the giant's belly. The goblin gritted its teeth in pain. Meanwhile, Felicia, in transparent form, flew close to it. Moments later, she appeared wielding her power. She unleashed a force that surrounded the red goblin's body. Shouting, Get lost! The goblin's foot was burned by the power, forcing it to jump back. Then he was hit again, thrown flat on his back. The red goblin was too stunned to react. Lying motionless on the ground, Karaknan leapt forward with his spear. His eyes glowed bright red. It was oh! Then came a powerful slash to the giant's stomach. Cracking the ground all around, the red goblin coughed up a mouthful of blood in pain. Karak stomped on his belly, making the blood spurt uncontrollably. Sucha stood aside watching. He grinned excitedly. Haha! We won! We won! There are still plenty of others. But the biggest nuisance is done. Suddenly, a surge of power surrounded him, making him look down in confusion. The system screen appeared right before his eyes. It said, Level up. Level 10. Sucha felt a thrill inside, finally reached level 10. Your main character's buff has leveled up. The message read. He could not help but smile with satisfaction. Great. Main character buff level 2 unlocked. Plus a new passive skill. He quickly tapped the screen. Should I open the box now? Blessing of the Battlefield level 1. Accuracy of ranged attacks targeting the main character slightly reduced. Sucha was amazed again. This is the Stormtrooper effect. Everyone has seen it at least once, the scene of dozens of bullets flying, but all just grazing the main character. Sucha smiled excitedly. With this skill, I can perfectly recreate that main character's aura effect. At that moment, a horde of red goblins charged toward them. Felicia sprinted over shouting, Sucha, what are you doing? The enemies are coming. He snapped back to reality. Felicia looked exhausted, her face tired. Still, she summoned a gust of wind. Oh wind! Roar! A blast of wind power pushed the red goblins back. Sucha's eyes widened as he watched the scene. It looked like magic, but it was not. He quickly realized it was a spirit exactly. A spirit, even if it is magnificent. A spirit is still a spirit. Felicia was not just an excellent mage. She was a born spirit mage. Felicia fought fiercely against the enemies. Sucha's eyes lit up with a greedy smile. But, can I use that spell? Suddenly, a golden light appeared in the sky. Sucha's soldiers looked up in confusion. Karak asked, Your Highness, what does the flare signal mean? Sucha replied, Yellow means retreat order. Retreat? Karak? He also felt confused. What is going on? Don't tell me someone's in danger, Karak worriedly asked. Your Highness, what should we do? Give the orders. Sucha instructed. Karak, lead the troops to retreat first. We have to go to the spirit tree. Karak looked at him blankly. What do you mean? Then I will go with you. He was obviously very worried. Sucha explained. There must be a reason for the retreat order. Just follow it for now. Karak was still confused, but Felicia stepped forward saying, I will go with Sucha. Karak, Kong, Princess, she continued. I am not used to leaving anyone behind, so I want the chance to repay. Besides, I still have some unfinished business with those pigs. Karak reluctantly accepted and reminded them. Be careful. Your Highness, I will wait for you up ahead. Sucha quickly stepped forward. Got it. See you later. Felicia followed and asked, Are you really heading to the spirit tree? He doubted it. This sudden retreat order seemed suspicious. She pressed on. Could it be that she is actually losing to those guys? Sucha, I hope. If so, we just head back together. Seeing him so worried, Felicia looked sad. You care about the spirit tree that much? Sucha replied. Well, of course. We are siblings. In his heart, he added it was also because of Lin Min. Felicia crossed her arms, staring at him intently. Of course. Cut to the spirit tree camp. A group of red goblins charged in to attack. Spirit tree remained calm, throwing punches back. Her sharp eyes scanned around. She extended her hand and unleashed a power blast, quickly blowing the red goblins apart at the stomach, terrifying them. Then they went wild, gnashing their teeth fiercely and charging again. Two charged directly at Spirit Tree. She jumped back to dodge. She quickly drew her weapon and unleashed a sharp slash toward the two red goblins. They quickly felt the pain. At that moment, Sucha and Felicia appeared. Felicia smirked. Told you. Sucha's expression was priceless. Kaylin had handled the danger herself, so no need to worry at all. Kelly quickly noticed Sucha's presence and turned around to ask, Sucha, why are you still here? Why not retreat? Reluctantly, he replied, I came to save you. No. To help? But it seems like you did not need it. She looked confused and said, Huh? What do you mean? Her eyes widened in surprise. As soon as she saw Felicia, she suddenly rushed over. Then, overjoyed, she grabbed Felicia tightly, exclaiming, Felicia, thank goodness. You are really safe. Felicia blushed shyly from the hug. Oh, of course, always worrying for no reason. Sucha chuckled, thinking, these two seem pretty close. Suddenly, a system screen popped up, showing a map of the area. He startled and looked over. Seems like the enemies are back. Time to retreat quickly. Kaylin said, Sucha, you lead the way first. We will defend from behind. He answered, yes, and the scene shifted to another location. Soldiers in green uniforms were seriously working within a barrier. Symbols flowed across the ground as Sucha and two others stepped inside the barrier. Felicia looked around. Puzzled, Sucha had discovered this gate earlier. Kalen responded cheerfully. That is right. She has contributed a lot to this battle. Felicia muttered. Strange, when exactly did it change this much? Just then, someone appeared and said, everyone's returned safely. It was Creed. Kalen lipped up. Brother, I brought Felicia back safely. Contrary to her cheerful tone, Felicia frowned silently. Then came a bit of small talk. Creed, long time no see. Creed briefly fell silent, staring at the other. Then he replied, yeah, it has been a while. Miss Felicia. Later, in a cave, the four gathered to talk. Creed announced, I heard the General's side initially won. Seems like Akujin gave up after seeing the camp burned down. Sucha was curious. Kalen, standing nearby, explained, Akujin, that is the supreme leader of the Red Tribe. Forgot already? Felicia asked. So Akujin surrendered. Greif shook his head. Not exactly. He just fled elsewhere. If he regroups the remnants, the fight could go on, so tomorrow we will attack Karam's forces. Chiron's brother, if he joins with Akujin, it will be troublesome. Anyway, that is all from my report. What about you? Why are you here? Felicia fell silent when asked. After a moment, she replied, I was researching nearby ruins. Then I heard about the battle. On my way to help, I got captured. Creed exclaimed in surprise. Really? Seeing her doubtful expression, he asked directly, why? Sounds like a lie. Creed did not deny it but watched her closely, searching for a slip-up. Felicia stared him down without backing off. Creed then looked away. You must be tired. Let us pause here. Everyone's waiting for you. Yeah? Thanks for your hard work. Felicia looked thoughtful but said nothing more. Soldiers were resting and tending wounds. Sucha sat alone reviewing the system screen. Possession skills. Level 1 mana control. Level 1 rocket arrow. Level 1 ice arrow. Level 1 healing. After checking his new abilities, he could not help but smile. Just looking makes me happy, but probably the only thing I can really use in battle now is the aura. Lost in thought, he was suddenly called. Sucha, can I come in for a moment? Felicia stepped in. Sucha was shocked. Sis Felicia, you have changed clothes. Then he wondered, why are you here at this hour? Felicia bit her lip and stayed silent for a long moment. Then she stepped forward again, calling out once more, Sucha, Sucha. He looked confused, and just then a strong pull yanked him. Huh. Felicia pulled him close and bluntly asked, can you take your shirt off? Sucha panicked, his face flushing red at her bold move.